Hey everybody, and welcome back to this episode of probably not the worst beekeeper in the world, but definitely top 5 worst beekeepers ever. Coming out here today to put on the mite-away quick strips onto my hive that's left. So I'll just show you how I do it, and there's a couple different ways. Not saying that my way is right, or even this is my preferred way, but due to the way life happens, this is how I have to do it this time around. Before we get started though, one thing that I started doing a couple years ago when I started keeping bees was also keeping a notebook. And in that notebook, I just write down every time I go out what I did, what I saw, what I might want to do next time. And what that will let you do is, if you're an absent-minded or a beekeeper that doesn't get out as much like me, I can look back at my notes and see what I did last time and if there's anything I need to do this time. So looking at my notes, I haven't been out here actually. Geez Louise. I hope that this is the wrong, I missed an entry, but according to this, I haven't been out here since June, and that might be true. Anyhow, show you how we take these mite-away quick strips and put them on, and then we'll see what else is going on. So mite-away quick strips are primarily a chemical called formic acid, and it is pretty nasty stuff. There's some recommendations for you. Long sleeve shirt, long pants, sock shoes, some type of exam gloves. So I have the nitrile gloves out here today, just Walmart brand nitrile, and I have those on. I'll put those on underneath my coveralls, and I'll put actually a pair of beekeeping gloves over top of those. So just like any chemical, make sure that you read, understand, and follow the manufacturer's recommendations. So for this video, we'll try a new camera angle. I actually have the camera hanging from an apple tree that's right next to the beehive. So what you do is you just open your box. They don't recommend that you do an actual inspection too close before you go ahead and put these mite-away quick strips on. And shame on me, I haven't been out here in a few weeks or months. So I'm unfortunately not going to get a chance to really do a dig-in inspection today. Life gets in the way sometimes. Raising kids sometimes interferes with raising bees. But what you want to do is I'll try to make sure the camera shows everything. But this hive is set up right now with a medium on the bottom, deep in the middle, medium on the top. All that doesn't matter right now. But you do want to put your mite-away strips at the top of the lower box. So what I'll do is I'll obviously break everything down without inspecting as much as I can. I'm not going to move frames if I don't need to. We'll look to put the strips on top of the medium that's just not quite in the frame right now. Then I've also got underneath the smoker here, I have another empty medium. It's got some drawn frames. It's recommended to do that to give them the room to move up and away from that formic vapor as they choose to do it. So I guess we'll go ahead and get this going. Okay, so we got the outer cover and the inner cover off. They got a ton of propolis, which is fine. But I did want to point out, look at this cool beekeeping tool. My cousin Nick got this for me, and I keep forgetting to bring it out. Not that I come out very often, but it's got a hook, prier, a little hammer if you want to do that. These are for cleaning your frames out and then prying in. So having used it now for about 2 minutes, I can tell you that this is cool and I like it. So thanks, cousin Nick. Well, geez Louise, I just took this medium off. It was the top box and it was heavy. So that's a good sign. They get plenty of honey. I see some drones still wobbling around here. Again, you don't do an inspection right before you put on these max, but just looking down to see what I can see. As I can see it, they are still packed full of bees, and that medium full of honey is hopeful. I'm a little bit curious to what I'll get when I get this deep off, because this is a deep frame box. Typically would be on the bottom, but I didn't get it right away. Long story a little bit short. If there might be some other videos I put out there about why there's a deep in between two mediums, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this deep off best I can. If it's packed with honey, I'm going to struggle, but we'll get down and then we'll get into actually the placing the strips onto the bottom medium. Well, got the deep off and it was as I thought it might be. It was pretty heavy. Anyhow, so I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but there's a little bit of burr comb in between the bottom medium and the first deep. Brought an empty peanut butter jar out with me, and I'll typically have some type of container. Nothing wrong with burr comb except for it's in your way. It's like any flower that's somewhere you didn't plant, it's a weed. So what I'll do is I'll smoke these bees off the bottom. I'll clean up a little bit of this burr comb, and then we'll get on to putting the max onto the bottom and putting it back together. All right, so I got the majority of the burr comb off. I have a package of strips out. All I gotta do is open them up and apply them. What I'll do is, you see how the bees went back to the top of the box after I smoked them down. I will smoke them down, if I can find my smoker. So this is always kind of neat to see. Just real gently smoke them, and then they just disappear. One thing that I messed up today was this hive has an open screen on the bottom board, and I usually keep some of those in the back of my truck, and I got crazy the other day and cleaned my truck out and took the screen bottom board parts that close it up, took them out. So oh well. Anyhow, so you open this up. Oh boy, a little intense. They'll come in 2 different packets. There you go. Looks like chicken fillets, kind of. And I'm gonna smoke them one more time because I've been talking and they got back to work. You're always gonna get a few bees that won't go. Anyhow, according with the manufacturer's instructions, you put them just like that. And then what you do is, because you want to span the total width of the 10 frames, or if you have an 8 frame, you want to span the total width of the 8 frame box. And we have one spans 6, one spans 6 back the other way, one to the front, one to the rear. All right, next step. Put it back together. Wow, is that heavy? That's a deep. And I'm not good at estimating weight, but I'm telling you it's significant. All right. And we gotta get ready for picking this one up. This is a heavy one. This medium here weighs a lot. All right. Then, if some giant guy, look like a stuffed white sausage, came in your house and dumped a bunch of acid, wouldn't you wish you had a spare bedroom to run to? That's what we got there. All right, so after this is just putting it back together and figuring it out. Always wash your hands when you're done, even though I've got these yellow kind of rubbery gloves, and I've got those nitriles on underneath. Always wash your hands when you're done. I'm just going to put the hive back together and call it good. So, not the only way to do it, but one way to apply formic acid or max mite-away quick strips to your hive. So, hope you found that useful.